we need to talk about Enoch. So in this most recent episode of Ahsoka, we were introduced to a new character, Enoch, the captain of Thrawn's guard, and seems to be the leader of this stormtrooper army. And when we look at who Enoch is in other settings, particularly how he's known in the Bible, we're given some crazy clues, not only as to who he is, but also what's going on with all of these stormtroopers. So in this video, I'm going to break down who Enoch is and why it's important for Ahsoka. Hit that like button as we get started if you're excited to find out. So Enoch is the great-grandson of Adam. And when we look at Genesis chapter 5, it says this about him. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked faithfully with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. Now, it's this mysterious moment where we're not quite sure what actually happens to Enoch. We don't get more of the story. Now, there's extra biblical literature that's written that most Christians would look at and go, that's not really part of the Bible because it's crazy and weird and a little bit mysterious. But when we look at what else the Bible has to say, we get a little bit more. And in this little bit more, we get clues as to who Enoch is in the Ahsoka show. In Hebrews 11:5, it says this, by faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. It continues, he could not be found because God had taken him away, for before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. Now, this being taken away from Enoch means he didn't die, very similar to what we see happens to Elijah in scripture. And so there's this importance given that, hey, everyone else dies and everyone else tastes death, and even Jesus dies, but not Enoch and not Elijah. So what is significant about this character when being named in Ahsoka? Because I don't think it's a mistake that the characters in Ahsoka are named what they are, particularly the characters that have been introduced in this new show. We have Shin, we have Balin, which is a reference to Norse mythology and these wolves who bring about Armageddon and the end of the world, which, side note, I think we got some info and some intriguing thoughts regarding Balin in this most recent episode. That's for another video. But here, when we're talking about Enoch, it can't be missed. This is chosen particularly for a reason. And if that reason is just to give folks like me on the internet opportunities to talk about all these different kinds of theories, maybe, but I think there's something more going on here. Enoch doesn't taste death. And why was Enoch one that God chose? What happened? He was faithful to God. So what if this Enoch, this title given and this name given to this stormtrooper, is representative of who he is, both in substance, but also in character? And what I mean by that is when we're thinking about the character of Enoch, he was faithful to Thrawn. He is the most faithful of all the stormtroopers. He can be trusted to get the job done. He can be trusted to do it correctly. And even when we see and hear Enoch speak,
be warned, nomads wander this wasteland and prey upon each other for survival. Here are your weapons.
we're even given more clues that make us feel like there's something more going on here. This isn't just a normal, regular, everyday clone or stormtrooper. Something different is happening. And maybe that's because they don't taste death. I think there's a connection between Enoch and what we saw with Marok in the previous episodes. They sound similar, and I think both of them haven't actually ever died. Now, there's many other reasons that I think this is the case. I think the name of Enoch is just one of those. If you want to see all of the other ways and clues that I think we've been shown that there's something kind of crazy going on with these stormtroopers, click right here and check out that video. Remember, the Force will be with you always. I'll see you over there.